with me, even though no one's showing up yet. I've got to grab my computer. Every time I'm never prepared because I run in the door and I'm just like, hey, I'm live. So here I am. I'm live. How is everybody? Signing onto my computer. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Popping up, I'm hoping. Live stream. Takes a while for people to know I'm on. I'm on early because I'm going to be babysitting baby Meadow tonight. So I have a date with my little granddaughter for the evening, which is going to be super fun. So I am excited about that. Super excited. Hi, you guys. How is everybody? All of a sudden, my ears are on fire. I'm like on fire on my, oh, look. I'm also sweating down my face, and I'm going to clean this right here. Hi, you guys. Yeah, I'm on until I have to run out the door to go get my baby Meadow. So when I got to go get my little Meadow, I'm leaving. That's why I'm on a bit early. How is everybody? Hi, you guys. Good evening, y'all. Yay. I know I'm early. Babysitting with Meadow, dinner with Meadow. Dinner with Meadow. Baby Meadow. Yeah. How is everybody? I want to show you what I got from my friend Nancy, who's a firefighter. So this is Nancy. She fights fires, and we do like aerial class, pole class, and all of that. And look what she gave me for Christmas. I've got to get it down. Of course, I can't have it on the table because I won't put it on the table, and I'll tell you why when I get it. Okay, I'm back. I never put shoes on the table, but look at these boots. I thought I'd show you guys. Aren't these super cute? Look at how cute. That's why I don't put shoes on the table. So, aren't those cute? Yeah, I know. They're for pole dancing. It's easier to dance in really, really high shoes. I know that's hard to believe. I started with 6-inch. Those are 8-inch. And it's because you do, okay, it sounds so weird, but you do a lot of the tricks on this part of the shoe. So this gets all banged up. So you put these little socks. I know, but they're so cute. She picked them for me. So shout out to Nancy. Yeah, we go from pole class to aerial class together, and it's very fun. Yeah, it's very fun. No, I don't dance. I just take pole classes for exercise. No, they don't hurt your ankles. It's weird. We practice walking on our toes because you're on your toes. And remember, you're attached to a pole. So try a class. It's great. The higher the heel, the better. I've been dancing in 7-inch shoes, and my teacher's like, why don't you try 8? I'm like, because I want to fucking die, right? And she's like, no, just try the 8. So Nancy brought me the 8s. It's fantastic. I know. No, you could. You can. We have to walk across the class like you're on your toes. So when you're doing a lot of those moves by a pole, you're actually on your toes. And we have to walk backwards across the class, which, it's really fun. It is totally fun. No, we practice. So we do, but we're doing a choreographing class together. So we have a lot of fun, me and Nance. Nance is like Jason's age, and she has a son, and it's really, it's cute. So this week we're getting Lydia, Nancy, and Ding Ding, our friend Ding Ding. We're all going to pole class. So it's like really fun, and I enjoy it. And it's physically exhausting. So because it's very turny, this week's, she does a thing for 3 weeks. We do choreographing. And it's I can still wear leggings. It doesn't matter. I don't have to wear booty shorts. Some of them I do because it's pole strength. And then you don't wear shoes. You don't wear shoes for pole strength. That's just pure strength. I don't have pure strength. But anyway, it was really fun. Really, really fun. Yeah, we're practicing this new routine. So it's a lot of turns and a lot of different, it's like turn around, turn around, turn around, but you're always holding a pole and you really are up on your toes. I didn't believe it because I danced for the first month a year ago. I mean, I danced when I was younger, obviously, but they didn't have these kind of shoes back then. Cause I'm talking, 40 years ago. I mean, 1981, I started stripping. 1981. So I was 14 when I ran away from home. What else is a bitch gonna do, right? Anyway, true story. They didn't have the pole strength. These girls are elite athletes. They are fantastic. I don't know if it helps with hiking. It's too different because you have to be really flexible. Mobility. Oh my God, they're so athletic. The girls that I, Gen Z, you're a Gen Z stripper. I'm a Gen X stripper. But the girls are phenomenal. Like the strength, our teacher is just, she's like crazy. All of them are amazing. So I really enjoy it. The physical, yeah, Gen X, Victoria. But we do strength like where you have to lift yourself off the ground with like in a straddle with just your hands up, grab your legs up again. And even to climb is hard. It's all very precise. It's not what people think. They call them dumb. They're not dumb. They're fucking athletic as shit. I mean, there's some drunk and high and crack smoking ones, sure. That's a thing. Yeah, so it's really fun. I like it takes a lot of strength. I enjoy it because I'm getting stronger. I was throwing out my lats, pulling my groin when I first started. Oh my God, so much shit that you don't even think that hiking does not train you for. So there you go, 1970 Gen X. That's right, Beth. So yeah, it's really interesting. Anyway, so I like a full body workout. You know what I mean? So that I can keep in. I hope TikTok closes. TikTok, you took my account down for me impersonating myself and you removed 450,000 people from me and you left up the people copying me. TikTok needs to go down until they fucking straighten out what they're doing. You can't reach anybody there. It's obnoxious. I don't think it'll go down though. Quite frankly, somebody will buy it in America and it'll become an American company. I mean, isn't that what will happen? Isn't that what always happens? 66 tomorrow. Alyssa, cool. You know, I don't even know who that is that's missing or whatever happened. I haven't been paying attention because LA's on fire, so I haven't been paying attention. You know, yeah, people say that. I don't invest in anything really because I don't really care. I just make money day to day and then that's it. I don't save for the future. I don't believe I have one. I just live in the moment. I've always been like that. Sometimes I'm broke, sometimes I'm not. That's the way it is. I don't have any like backup if that's, you know, and I never have. So that's just me. Bobby. Look, Bobby. I show Bobby the shoes. I was talking to my Bobby on the way to class. My Bobby. She's not my Bobby. She's Lucas's Bobby. But anyway, look, Nancy bought me these. Look at that. Look at this. This is some crazy shit, huh? She bought me them for Christmas. I meant to show you. But yeah, hi, Ashley. Yeah, it was really fun. But anyway, so many things going on. So many of my clients and people, a lot of people, I know, aren't they high? They're like literally, I don't think there's martial law. I cannot get back over to where I live though by Mount Wilson. The sun's coming through over there. Anyway, I cannot get back there. The National Guard is there. I guess it's not Armed Guard. It's National Guard. So you can't get, you know, get up there, right? Wear them on a date with someone who's 6'6". I don't think I could wear them on a date. I'm attached to a pole when I'm wearing them, which is good. We, you know, do scoops with our legs. So like the shoes are really pretty and you go up on your toes and you click them together. It's stuff like that. It's very theatrical, which I like. And it's physically great. So, Gene Simmons, right? So yeah, I can't get up because I don't live there anymore. I did live on Mount Wilson, you know, with the, bears and the sweet little deer and the cougars and the skunks and all of that, but I don't live there. I live near fires now. I live in between two fires. So I live in between two, but I'll, you know, whatever. We're ready. We all have bags packed. All of us have bags packed, but then it's annoying because you need to take your paperwork, but sometimes you need your paperwork. So you have that. I just cleared out another suitcase to fill it up with shit. So I live with a suitcase packed. That's what Estelle did. The first fire, she had a suitcase packed and she took like her favorite coats, some of her artwork, you know, shit that she did and she liked. And the second one, she's like, they'll let us back in, no biggie. Oh my God. Right. So anyway, yeah, I can breathe okay. I mean, I was respiratory. Okay. I'm still stuck. I'm like, I have to sniff. Oh, you started studying astrology. Good. Yeah, so pack your baby pictures. I have mine, as I told you. Mine's right here by the front door. This is a 2 terabyte. I have a 14 terabyte one too. It hooks. It has every picture from mine and John's childhood, our kids, our videos, Keith's LAPD, the police, his death scene, his body, all of that. It's all on this. So I carry one with me and I keep one here. I have them all over the place. Thank you for that, Annie. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I keep that right there. Oh, thank you, Love Notes. Thank you. I got the photos digitized in Irvine, and I honestly cannot remember the name. I'm going to Google and see. I can't remember the name, but they had, after Keith died, I was telling somebody this. After Keith died, I had asked Keith to bring, I told you guys this, the big Costco containers, like the huge ones that are as big as my arms or as tall as me, if you put them sideways. I had 6 of those. We had family albums, we had videos, we had Costco tapes, we had, you know, like when they used to do the cassettes and the this and the that. And I'd asked Keith to bring the last one up 3 days before he died because I said, I'm going to put everything onto your own thing. I was going to do it anyway, but when he died, I thought, what if there's a fire? Now, really, I did. And me and John took all of the childhood, stuff out of the albums, threw the albums out, like ripped them up. So I knew I didn't have any pictures. And we got 3 things from the post office, 3 boxes, and we put over 10,000 pictures in there, plus videos. That was a whole other package. And I think I might have paid, yeah, I know the houses are terrible. I think I might have paid like 1,300 or 1,500, and it didn't matter to me because then I had them make digital copies and they kept them online for a year so that people could go online. And I made 3 sets. And if I was smart, I wouldn't have made 3 sets because I could just copy them, but I was stupid. So I still have everything on little external drives, 1 by 1, for me, John, and Jason. Then I have them on these 2 terabytes. And then I have them on this 14 terabytes. This has all my paperwork on it, taxes and shit like that too. So I'm making another one of these. So I have all of this. That's what I did after Keith died because I thought I can never get another picture of him and I can never do that. So that was my first thought. That's all that mattered to me. And I can see Estelle has done it with her family pictures. So she had done that. But Estelle is like Bobby, who painted this picture of Keith, and the other artist that painted that picture, and the other artist that painted this picture up here. Estelle is an artist like that. And she had beautiful pictures she painted in her house. These were her pictures that she did, and she lost all that and sculptures and stuff like that, which you're not really going to carry, right? Yes, I have all of Muse stuff. Muse stuff is at the vet, but she's pretty good. I have her stuff. I have her little paperwork, and she has her little collar, which she hates. She hates her collar, and her little bag is outside. It's by the front door, so I can throw her in it. I've cleaned it up for her. I have cat food in the back of my car, obviously in tins. It's not open. And I have the dry cat food bag in there. So I have that ready to go for her. And hi, Ashley. Oh my God, your sister is making me laugh, Ashley. She's out with it all, right? Yeah, so anyway, I love you more. Yeah, I have all of that. Yeah, they are Dr. I don't even know what that says. But yeah, so it's really, really interesting. I just put all the pets. Kenna has baby Jack, and she has, then Kenna's parents or stepmom and dad have horses. So over in their neighborhood, they have to get the horses out of there. And that's really, really hard to do as well. You know what I mean? They have to get the horses out, and they have a park where the horses go to, but it's very, very frightening for the horses, right? I don't know why they leave them behind. Sometimes they have to leave the animals in the park where there is no fire because the horses, where are you going to take them? You know what I'm saying? You have to like move them over to somewhere where they can stand and just hope to God they know enough to stay out of the fire. But like the one that me and Lori were just talking, Libra Lori. Hi Lori. We were just talking about the one. Yes, of course pets go to heaven. Why? Trees are of heaven. Flowers are of heaven. If you want to call it heaven, it's a different dimension. Everything vibrates. Why wouldn't your beautiful pets that are more advanced than you? Look at the sun coming through. The sun. Look, it's right there. There it is. Why wouldn't your beautiful pets be the ones that go to heaven? Like, I don't get why they wouldn't. They're the ones that heal you. They're with you. They're your family. You just think, what? They don't have a soul? They definitely have a soul. Where's my Lou? My Lou is somewhere hiding around here. She has a soul. They have a soul. So you would definitely, baby Jack, definitely. He wouldn't let anyone go. He'd be right in the car like this. Staring. He'd be in the car staring. You wouldn't get away from baby Jack. He runs for the door when you go for the door. Like, he's like, where are you going? Why can't I go? So anyway, Lori and I were talking about it, but when the, thank you for that. Thank you so much. When the fires hit in 2018 in our neighborhood, me and Lori, as I said, Keith was taking horses out of his friend's house and they put him in a local park because they had nowhere to carry, like their horse vans. Some people don't have horse vans to take their 10 horses at once, obviously. So they took, they let horses go, but it burned to the edge of my house and it burnt to the edge of Lori's house. But I was at the bottom of the hill and she was at the top of the hill. So we were, like this, and it burnt all in between and jumped the freeway on top of it. Cat down. Oh, yeah, it's hard when you put them down. I wish I'd never put my little kitty down. Not my kitty, my dog, my poodle, my standard poodle. Way back in the day. I wish I hadn't have done it. Why don't the dead contact us? The dead do contact us. But see, you're using the wrong word. You're using the wrong word. Again, when they talk about things religiously, in as far as it's evil to talk to the dead. Yeah, Tucker, my little Tucker. When they talk about that, they're talking about people that have stepped away from God. They're not talking about your relatives who've gone through a dimension. A lot of times it's harder for them to come through here because we don't pick up on the signals from it, or we don't pick up on certain people for whatever reason. But trust me, they're right there. To see my horse you'll see your horses and your dogs. I know that. I've seen people, they walk in. Thank you for that. I've seen people walk in with they used to come to the house for a reading. I've had horses at my house for a reading. I've had clients bring me horses. My neighbor was a horse girl. I had them bring their horses out to my front. I've had every conceivable animal, birds, horses, dogs, cats, goldfish, weird little lizard creatures, little spiky lizard creatures. My family put up with a lot. I've had every kind of pet in the house coming for a reading with their mom or their dad. I've had all of that. So I had turtles. Jason had turtles when he was little. I bought him turtles and I can't remember what happened to them. I believe in past life regression. I believe in anything that gets you out of your physical form in this life to tell you what happened before you came here. I love bears. Bears are my greatest friends. I've had pet lizards. I've not had a bear brought to my house, but the bears came to my house when I lived near the bears, Mount Wilson again. But yeah, let's see where. I don't know who that is. I have to research it. My apologies. I've not really been online, so I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I like all animals. So, yeah, I like all animals. I love the bears. Let's see. Have you ever had a glitch? Oh, yes. I've had all kinds of glitches since I was little. I love cows too. I love any animal. I'm friends with them all. They're my friends. Yeah, I've even been walked down a hill by a cougar in Burbank. In Burbank, climbing up a cliff at noon. They're not even supposed to be out. And in my head, I was running across the top and I saw the grass over a rock, but I thought it was a cougar, so I ducked down, which you should never duck down. You should stand big. I love the bearded dragons. And Anyway, a cat named Bella. That's so cute. But anyway, it wasn't a cougar. And when I hit to go down, I saw the cougar and he just stood there looking at me and I went, ah, fuck. So hands up, that's what you do. And I've seen several times, but I've been caught on a trail 3 times. And I've been followed for miles by a cougar walking up the hill on Christmas morning behind me. He wouldn't back down. He didn't go closer. So as he walked, I walked, but I never turned my back. So I make him know I see him. And if they come at you, which I haven't had this happen, I walk against the side of the mountain so they cannot get behind me. Like there's dirt behind me so I can put my feet up and at least use my feet to kick. That's all I could do. One time I ran away from one, but it didn't chase me. Thank you for that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's, that's what I do, but I have run into them. I've seen them cross the path early in the morning in front of me, but they don't want to be seen. They just kind of go. I can feel them. I can actually walk and I can feel them. I can feel the hair on my back. They're very powerful. And when they come in your space, you feel it. They're so powerful. So it's, I can feel them come when I'm hiking. And I always hike by myself. So yeah, I know. Everybody asks me that. I always hike by myself so I can feel them. I mean, I run into people, but you know, bobcats. Yeah, I love I could bob the cat. I'm like, look, there's Bob the cat. I'm not really scared of bobcats. You know, they're friends. The bobcats. Thank you for that. The bobcats are my friends. They're my friends. I mean, they usually don't come around. They usually just cross the path, stare at you, and then go. I mean, if it turned on you, but I don't get like close. One time I was in Burbank and I ran up the hill and I went past 2 of my friends and I saw these really cute little kittens at the top. And I'm like, oh, somebody left their kittens out. This is how blonde I am. And they had specks on them. They were baby cougars. And I wanted to complete my run. So sometimes I like to do a loop and I like it to be 7 to 10 miles. So I have a certain way I go. And I went around and I was about to go by them and I had to talk myself into backing up because I'm like, there is a mother around here. They were like this big and they were super cute and they were playing and I was just going to scooch around them. But I thought, don't be an asshole just to get back to your car and complete your run because you will be dead. And so I backed up and went down the hill. Yeah, it took me a while though because my brain is like, go, go, go. Just go around them. They're not going to hurt you. But they would have a mom. Oh, she would have killed me. I know. I do stop myself mid-flight. Like I put my foot down. I'm like, stop running, back up. But it was hard for me because I thought I didn't see her. So I'm like, it's okay. No, no, no. 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 Yeah, Panthers. I know. I love the Florida Panthers. I love the Everglades. That's where I used to take my kids when they were little, as well as the Everglades. Very familiar. We used to have alligators because I used to spend the winters in Florida growing up. My parents had a house. Yeah, when I feel like filming them, I'm going to do them. I want to feel like filming videos. I love Roadrunners. I love Roadrunners too. Yeah, I don't know what's with me. I don't know why I can't sit still to film a video because I have to look good and then I have to sit there and blah, blah, blah. I'll do it. It's really hard as one person. I mean, like, it's just hard. Panthers are beautiful creatures. No, I haven't done, I don't want to do those people. I don't want to do them. Did you hear that apparently there's going to be a panel of helpers that are John Voight? Like, I'm sorry. All I can think of is that movie. I can't go there. Anyway, John Voight and his big round face. Anyway, okay, I'll stop. I can't. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to see celebrities in charge of my politics, really, quite frankly. I mean, there's a lot of people that are witches that you don't know are witches. There's a lot of people that practice all kinds of black magic in different levels and different religions, and you have no idea who these people are. And Whitey is the worst, okay? Whitey is the worst. Because Whitey, you don't think that way. but they're doing it. I don't think Mel Gibson is a good egg. I know people say that, but keep in mind, he's got billions of dollars. How did that happen? So I know that he plays the part we want him to play because they're doing oppositional, things like the people that are conspiracy theorists. We need Mel Gibson talking out here. We need this talking out here. I don't believe it. Okay. Not all who do. I didn't say all who do. Some of it is religious for people. But when you control people with manipulation, and that's what spells are, and that's what magic is, it's manipulating the energy. So it's controlled opposition. That's how I feel about it, okay? I understand, but he's a billionaire. He did not get his billions without being compliant. And I don't care what you say to me. I love Braveheart, one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies. However, he did not get there without playing the game. So I don't need entertainers being in the government. I don't think that that's a right thing. It's idle star worship, and it's like, why am I listening? I don't fucking care what you have to say. I do agree that he should fight the government. So do that for yourself, but don't be in control. Like, don't, no, I'm not your bitch. Like, no, I don't want to live. No, I can feel it. They're going to try to make prostitution run on the money. Thank you for that. Thank you. It is, I like, what are you doing? I don't even want Elon Musk involved in this. Who the fuck is he? Did I okay him to tell me policy? What, because you have money, you should tell me what to do? No. Don't tell me what to do. You're of the earth and you're trying to be a bazillionaire, and you are a bazillionaire. Mel has like $200 million. Call that what you want. I think he is. Let's look up his net worth while we have our computer on. He's something like that. A-lister Aleister Crowley. Exact. I don't want you. I don't want you telling me what to do if you've had a movie or a TV show. Who are you? What is that, your fame to claim that you sucked dick and got where you got? Good for you. Good for you. I do like Starlink. Okay, 425 million. Close enough. $500 million. Whatever. Close enough. I don't trust you. Because there's such an imbalance. I'm sorry, I'm moving because I'm on a weird pillow. There's such an imbalance of power in the world. There are countries that have been gridded with energy where people are starving. Haiti, countries like that, okay, where they can't even get a bowl of rice. There's America where we can, even when you're poor here, we can eat, for the most part. I mean, we should be able to eat, right? And then there's places all over the world where they can't even get water or food. And these celebrities take advantage every single time. And it's problematic. And why is there such a discrepancy? The earth is not a fair place. They're full of cheaters and liars. They're the ones that go out there and they're like, I'm not on Ozempic. Shut up. We all have appetites. Shut up. And they don't even look like themselves. Who are you? And Elon, okay, I was just talking to my landlord, and he's like, yeah, I had to go when the power, because we had power out last week. And he's like, yeah, we had to go to my in-laws for the power. And I'm like, oh, I had Starlink. I could get online, because he had to get online for work. And I'm like, no, I could get online because I had Starlink. I'm like, you can hook up to my Starlink. And he's like, tell me about Starlink. The Starlink mini travel is outstanding. So however that came about is outstanding, because when I did climb up Mount Wilson, and it's the size of like the computer. So this is my computer. It's literally the size of this, and it has a cord, and the cord goes to your power base, your car, your wall, wherever the hell you want it. And as long as it sits out like in my yard and it has a clear shot of the sky, then it's perfect, right? So anyway, I took it up to Mount Wilson, and we had service. We were on our emails and that. So it works. It worked. I didn't have internet here. It worked. So that's it. I do like Starlink. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say it. So I'm glad that that's created. I know all this money to the Ukraine and these people. Oh my God, I can't. See, it's all laundering money and it's all a game. It's all a game. It's all a game. It's just a game. Okay, I have to answer this because it enrages me. It makes my ears flush and makes me feel like I'm going to hit somebody. I've done private readings for 4 decades. You can find me on my website. Do not email me that you can't get a reading. I shut it down. I'm not going to read around the fucking clock. When I open it, I open it. If you get in there, you get in there. When I'm overwhelmed, I shut it down. I work to pay bills, period. If I have a little cash in the bank, I'm not working extra. I mean, I'm doing things I want to do. It is on my website. That's it. 4 decades, 40 fucking years. Actually, 42 years. That's it. Okay. So, yes, I'm not some clown that popped up here every time. Do you do readings? No, I'm just a fucking clown on the internet. It makes me crazy. I know you guys don't mean it like that, but it makes me. Some people like it when people want readings from them. I look at it as the enemy. I'm like, it's the enemy because you want to take my time and it drains the crap out of me. So when I have to pay bills, I work like you work. Would you work if you didn't have to pay bills? Me neither. Okay, me neither. Right, right. I mean, it's not like I desire to do this 24/7. Oh my God, no. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, that all the time. They're like, and then I'll tell you, some people are really lovely. Chris, call out to Chris, who said something to me from Keith and is accurate. Catherine, who wrote me about Keith's bed 2 years ago, accurate. Some people are like, I have a message from your son. Call me. I'm never calling you. Do you know why? Because my energy cannot be wasted calling you to get in a conversation about my dead son. Just give me the information. Just put it in the paperwork like the other psychic people did, or don't. But don't tell me to call you. I'm never calling. No, I'm too like, no, I can't. I can't. And they want to manipulate me. I don't know if that's the case, but it truly feels like manipulation because I have a dead son. And so when you tell me you can get information about my dead son and then you want me to call you, it feels like I'm being manipulated to dial the phone and I can't do that. So I can't. I won't and I'm not. So that's it. I can't. Not doing it. Yeah, not doing it. Thank you. He was so handsome. Yeah, it is manipulative to me because the woman, the funniest one I got was, I think her name is Catherine, and she put it in an email and she's like, if this doesn't make sense, delete, right? And I'm like, girl. So I think it was 2022 in the summer. She emailed me, Keith is really mad that they threw his bed in the backyard. Well, I moved out, obviously, of the house. And so I would call John and I'm like, is Keith's bed still there? And he's like, yeah, why? And I'm like, okay, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, why? It took me a year to figure out that they threw the bed in the backyard because they accidentally broke it when they were trying to put it away and trying to take it down, right? That's a psychic reading. Like, she didn't say call her and she didn't like make a big deal about it. She just got what she got and said it, right? Like, anyway, she was 100% right. Everything she said about Keith, I was like, and then finally the kids were like, yeah, we're sorry, we broke the bed, we put it in the backyard. Funniest thing ever. None of them would admit it, right? He loved his bed. He did love his little bed. Yeah, that was an IKEA bed. It was one of those black ones with the black headboard, and he had it since he was a teenager. He loved that bed. I've paid my dues. I know people think I'm a quack and a nut, and I go on these fucking, I can't read comments. There's a lunatic astrologer on TikTok, and she's like, yeah, obviously on the comments, it's not her, it's comments. She's predicting that Trump won't win, right? And she's like, they're like, yeah, well, Sloan Bella, that's her personal opinion that Trump would win. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm just like, oh my God. You know, yeah, they did save the communication towers. Yeah, they're like, oh, I get bad energy from Sloan. Like, if you start reading it, the shit they say about you, it's like, you jealous that you can't read Trump's astrology chart? My psychic friend, and he goes by Bruce Wayne on my Instagram, okay? Anyway, I told you guys this, we did the Playboy channel together. We had to read Naked Girls, me and him both. We're sitting there, I'm like, I bet you this is more fun for you than me. But anyway, we had to do readings of the Naked Girls, right? And the Playboy bunnies, but they were naked. They had thongs on, but their boobies were out, right? And we were on that TV show. Anyway, Wayne and I were doing the readings, and that's how we met. And it was like 2012, I want to say, when the little girls could be naked on the camera, on the radio, wherever the hell they were naked. Anyway, him and I both. And no, seriously, I can do it. I've read everywhere. I read in the strip clubs as a stripper because I would always read anyway. But anyhow, he does not like Trump. I'm just gathering that from, I'm just gathering that from just communicating with him that he would prefer Trump not be in office, right? Which is fine. Him and I are still cool, not a problem. And I don't vote, so not a problem. Anyway, he read Trump's chart correctly. He doesn't like him, but he said it's lit up to win. It's lit up to win, right? So he could read a chart correctly. These other lunatics are like, Trump's never going to win. Trump's never going to win. And I'm going to say it again. I did the timeline switch because up until September 29th, when I went and did the video here, I did not feel a winner for the election. And I'm not going to say anything. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I do have the naked tarot cards. I don't get it. They're locked in a shed. Anyway, I didn't get it till I got it. And when I got it, I said it. And I said it on September 29th when I went through a timeline shift. I'm going to always be truthful. I don't care if you believe my predictions or not. That I don't care. I'm not perfect, whatever. But these channels with these people reading the astrology chart, I'm like, do you know astrology? And she thinks she's an astrologer. And I'm like, then you have to see how he was going to win, mental patient. I mean, and I talked to my personal friend astrologers who don't like Trump would say it. I don't get it. You can buy the Naked Tarot. It's all about sex and Naked Tarot. I'll bring them out one day. We'll do Naked Tarot readings. We'll do Naked Tarot readings, okay? Yeah, the planets lining up aren't all in the same degree. They're not. Where's my ephemeris? I have to move my camera to get my ephemeris. The planets lining up at the end of the month aren't in the same, I'm not same degree, same sign. So I don't know how that's a lineup, but I got to check because I don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff anymore until I'm ready to focus. And I haven't been ready to focus in the longest time. It's really weird. I have been unable to focus. I've moved twice in a year. 3 times in 4 years. My son died. I'm in court. I'm getting sued. I'm not sued now. I won that. But you know what I'm saying? And I still have to do day in, day out readings. Kamala was never going to win. Her chart was not lit to win. She could win. I'm not saying she can't. But astrologically, when you look at the chart, you have to look at the chart. Now, a lot of politicians don't put their correct charts out there. They don't, right? They don't, but assuming the chart's correct, and we don't really know that. Witchcraft is manipulation. Not all witchcraft. Like if you're wishing to heal a neighborhood, but here's the thing. I learned this because I had a friend. Here's the ephemeris I use. I had a friend, and it looks like this on the inside. This is how it looks. This is how you read a chart. I used to have to erect them from the ground up, meaning without the computer calculations. Okay, so I had a friend that would, I have several friends, but in this instance, I had a friend and she left her husband for her own reasons, whatever it was. And my other friend was lighting candles and doing magic to make them get back together. Now, that is your assumption as an outside person that you know better for this person, right? Do you see what we used to have to use almanacs to do the latitude and longitude of areas. Okay, so January 2025. So here it is. Here's the compilation of the numbers and the planets. That's how astrologers read. Real astrologers. Not crazy people who look at a chart and go, I'm going to say this person wins anyway. You might as well just go psychic because you're not reading the chart, you know? Hi, first timers. Okay, so the lineup, yeah, we have several things in Pisces. We have Neptune, we have Saturn, we have the moon, we have Venus, and we have the sun and Mercury in Aquarius. And then we have, yeah, we do have quite a lot in Pisces. I don't know what to say about that except that, I don't know. I've got to look at it more. I'll have to run a chart for the end of the month. I haven't done it, but I'll have to run it. That's it. You know, yeah, the North Node is also in Pisces. That shit doesn't bother me because I have Saturn in Pisces. I'm of that generation. So was Keith. Keith was Saturn in Pisces. I've already been punished by Saturn my entire life. Wait, hold on a sec here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, Michelle, you think they play it because they respect me, but they play it for getting views of their own shit. I don't know that it's about respect. If you don't know me, how can you respect me? You know what I mean? If you don't know me, how can you respect me? But yeah, Saturn in Pisces is a real bitch. Yeah, Saturn, when can we sign him? As soon as I finish writing the book, I'm editing it, but I can't sit still. There was a fire. I had to go help a friend. You know, I had to help one friend. I had to take clothes to another friend. I had to help a third friend. So I've had to do, I mean, I didn't have to. I chose to. But you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, Sylvia Brown was actually accurate. Sylvia Brown. Yeah, the second Saturn return is so interesting. I'm not a fan of Saturn at all in any way, shape, or form. It has destroyed my life. It is a destructive planet because it will remove things, and I don't really want things removed from my life. My son got removed, you know, my family childhood home removed. My other stepson died in my Saturn return. I mean, I gave birth to Keith and one died in my Saturn return. Like, that's pretty intense and pretty horrible to have to deal with. If you guys are going to donate in LA, donate to people you know. So I went to people I know personally and I donate. I don't donate to like whoever. I donate to people I know personally and I take the time to go there and give them clothes or give them money or whatever it is they need. So that's what I choose to do. That's just me choosing to do that, right? So yeah, that's it. That's what I do. Yeah, I do that. But, and I choose to do that just always when it comes to donations. Wait a second, hold on. Yes, I told my son he was going to die, Natasha. I did a lot of videos on it. I didn't know which son. I have two sons. I just heard how it works for me is I'm clear. When people ask that, I did tell my stepson. My stepson's right there, Jimmy. That was him. Just before he died, right there. I had lunch with him the week before he died and told him that he'd be dead by Halloween. He died October 9th. And with my two boys, I was at my granddaughter's birthday party and I was sitting with the women, the adult women, the other grandmothers and moms and not the kids, right? And I heard the words, you're going to bury one of your sons by September. And for me, I start saying it like Tourette's and I started saying it. So they all heard me at the table and I said, I'm going to bury one of my sons by September. Now, my two kids came right, and I wasn't living there at the time. I had separated and I moved out because I'm always the man in the relationship. Hello. Really, I'm a man posing as a woman, for real. All the masculine qualities I have. I take care of myself. I don't rely on anyone. I don't need you to hold the fucking door open. I make my own money. I pay the family bills, etc. That's who I am. Anyway, so I left, okay? I left. That's it. But I said I went home and sat in the living room and both these two came in from the garage and they were always like, look at my muscles, you know, like boys. And Jason was always like, I'm bigger here. And Keith's like, I'm taller. La, 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 all of that, right? And they were doing that. And I said, in the fashion that I talk to my kids, I'm like, you two bitches better be careful one of you is going to die by September. And that was the week before they died. I said, I don't know which one of you, but smarten up. Smarten up, I said, because I didn't know how it was going to happen. And it was July 29th. And it was Keith, and he would not be the one I would expect. Keith was more cautious. He's not as reckless, and he's not as wild. He's wild in a conservative way. Jason is like, here, I'll jump off the roof. You know, I'll fly off the roof. Let's see if I have wings. That's Jason, you know. Jason will be that guy. He's like, you know, you never know what he's up to. You never know where Keith was. Like, he was always out of the house, Sagittarius. But I knew it. And I saw it. I didn't wish it, but when I hear it, I get it. I do get people's, I do get their death. I've predicted several in the family, and that's something. I'll hear a date, and it usually happens before. With Keith, it was July 29th, so July, August. I was about a month off with him, and with Jimmy, I was a couple of weeks off. October 9th is when I found the lady that pulled out in front of him. And it was a car. I found the lady, and we are in court. And it took me 4 years and a bit to find her. But I knew, no, I heard it. They told me. And I couldn't ask, I couldn't get it out of my fucking head. I lit candles for protection, and they blew up in my kitchen. I had to put the freezing stuff, fire extinguisher in my kitchen. I literally couldn't shake the feeling. Couldn't shake the feeling. No, I hope to die soon. No, it doesn't scare me. Where he goes, I want to go. Where my son went, I want to find my son. Death doesn't scare me. I mean, if you scare me, yes, like, you know, if you jump out of I'm sorry, when you were 16, if I jump out of, like, if I get out of a car and someone's pointing a gun at my head and they're, you know, I'm going to bury you alive, yeah, that's going to scare me. But the dying doesn't scare me. I've always wished to not be here. That's before I had kids, before I got married. As a young person, I could not, hear me clearly, understand why I was here. It was like, oh my God. I heard when Michael Jackson, I did a what was it called? Hollywood 411 show with Michael Jackson. And Jason was having a sleepover, and I told every little kid at the sleepover when Michael Jackson was going to die. I hear shit like that. I heard it outside of myself. They plan hits. They do stuff. They do all kinds of stuff. That's it. I can't help it. I'm clairaudient, and that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. It just happens. Yeah, this is my little brown top. I don't know why I'm wearing it. It was just clean. It was clean, so I put it on. Yeah, it's very strange. I wish I hadn't heard that. I wish I hadn't. Jesse's mom had called me the week before he passed, and she was worried about her two younger children and had asked me if I felt anything like that around them, and I didn't. I didn't even think to look at Jesse. And it was Jesse. She knew. She said it, but it was directed at the baby children, not the grown child. So I didn't even think to look at it, and I didn't hear it, so I'm not just going to say shit. Some people pay for text messages, and they're like, is someone going to die soon? I'm like, why? Are you going to kill them? You know? Yeah, you get told. Why do ghosts like candles? I have no idea. Probably the energy of the candles. Yeah, I don't know. Aw. Yeah, see, it's so hard. It's so hard to lose a child. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a gangbanger, a famous asshole, a piece of shit, a good person, a Christian person, Muslim, Buddhist. I don't care who you are. It will bring you to your fucking knees. It will bring you to your knees, and you'll never be the same, and it doesn't matter. That's it. No one cares. It'll bring you to your knees. I was brought to my knees. Humbled into the ground and stomped on is how I word it. No, it broke me. I'm broken from it. I died inside, so I'm dead. I mean, no one cares, but thank you for that. Thank you. I don't know what that said. I have to look. Oh my God. Let's see. I heard the voice the day. 40 years, it's 40 July 7th. I had discernment in the past and I've been ignoring it. Oh God. Yeah, don't ignore it. Don't try not to ignore it. The one thing I'm ambassadors of Hollywood, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up with these ambassadors of Hollywood. No, I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, the one thing I do and the greatest thing that I learned and went against myself, because I can be an arrogant bitch, I can be a stubborn bitch, I can be all kinds of things and never like listen. Like I've walked into like the stupidest things on purpose and stayed stuck out of pure tenacious stubbornness. Like, if you're going to call me a gold digger, I'm not getting a divorce to prove that I'm not a gold digger. You should have been gone a long time ago because you're not a gold digger. You fucking pay for everything. Anyway, you pay for everything for yourself. You're not a fucking gold digger. So yeah, I'm stupid. I'll stay. Like, just to prove you wrong when you call me a name, that's like a fucked up thing. It's really fucked up to spend 37 years like that. That is fucked up. Anyway, yeah, because everything they said isn't true. And then I'm bullied into doing it to prove that I'm not that. And they still think you're that. Anyway, the best thing I did is 6 months before Keith died, I heard, ask your son to forgive you. So I did. And we had our conversation because I seem alive because I don't care about anything. So I will get in someone's face that has a gun or a knife and say, fucking do it. Do it. Yeah, they walk away. I'm like, shoot me. I don't fucking care. Do it. Because I don't care. I didn't care before about that kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, I can't back down. I'm like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. But anyway, when I heard to tell my son that I know God watches me, stubborn as shit. He's like, my angels are like, look at this dumb bitch. Her parents set her up to feel less than, like a lot of yours, scapegoated. So the first time someone insults her, she has to marry them and stay with them just to prove a fucking point. Oh my God, teach your kids not to do that. Teach your kids, teach your grandchildren, teach your adult children. If someone calls you a whore or fucking whatever, it doesn't matter what they say. They're nobody. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. It doesn't matter. They're not better than you. You're you and they're them. Yeah, so there you go. Walk away. Don't be an idiot. See, I got so sucked into it. Because I was a stripper and homeless, but I was raised in a family that had money, the adopted family. But because I was on my own, people want to call you like whore. I hated it. But when you're raised in a family where people call you a whore, someone calls you a whore, you're going to prove that you're not a whore. Oh my God, it made me crazy. I'm like, I'm not a fucking whore. And so it's really interesting because that keeps you stuck in a trauma bond because you're insane and you give a shit what someone else thinks. So it's so fucking weird. Anyway, oh my God. So yeah, don't do it. Teach your kids not to do it. And don't call your kids those names. Like, it sets them up. Most strippers get ripped off financially because strippers are the ones that take care of everybody. They usually come from some kind of alcoholic background or drug addicted or sexual abuse or violence in their home. And they are caretakers of people. They take money for showing their hoo-ha and their whatever, and some of them for dancing outrageously brilliantly with great strength. But they still take care of. So the men will trick them because men in strip clubs are liars. They'll say, I have money, and they do at the time. And so you think this person has a job. That's a step up. That's what I thought. Oh my God, you can marry someone that has a job and is established. But what you forget is if they're hanging around in a strip club If they're hanging around in a strip club, they're drug addicts probably or alcoholics, and they don't have an intimacy. They can't have intimacy because they like you to serve them with your hoochie. That's what they like. That's the problem. Okay, so anyway, that's the problem. See what I'm saying? So the stripper has no self-esteem, and then the men trick them, and you see what goes on is just one big fucking fuckery. But they don't do that to me now. And no one cares now, because when a woman gets over the age of 25, in California at least, if they're not really men, because the men in California are really predominantly gay. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying the experience. The ones that aren't like children, because our society has gone that way. By children, I mean very young women. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't walk away. It was insane. It was fucking insane. I'm telling you, I have never, it was funny. I was at a party on the weekend, and one of the other moms said to me, spiritual warfare. I think it's spiritual warfare. That's what I think yeah, Mel Gibson's looks like MK Ultra right now. I think it's spiritual warfare, and I don't have that in me. I don't have it in me anymore. I don't care. Or they have Peter Pan syndrome. Yeah, they all do coke and each other. They do. I know all the guys getting their, I can't. I'm like, yeah, you're all in there watching naked girls, but you're not gay. Okay. And the funniest thing I heard this weekend, funniest conversation at a party I was at, was, I am my husband's porn. One of the moms said. She goes, no, my husband doesn't watch porn. I looked at her. I started laughing out loud. She's like, no, my husband doesn't watch porn. I'm like, are you crazy? She goes, no, I do everything he wants 3 times a day if he wants it. And I'm like, I can't with you. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. She goes, no, if I found that out and I'm like, he's a weightlifter. He used to be a musician. I'm like, okay, sure. All right. Okay. I can't. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I had to stop myself. I had to go, oh God, it's a party. Doesn't matter. She's still going to stay married. Who cares? No one cares. No one cares. He's probably gay. I didn't go to that one. I didn't even go there. But I'm laughing. I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, my point is, if you hear a voice in your head telling you to tell somebody you love them or ask them to forgive you for something or to apologize, make sure you do it. Make sure you do it. Because if I hadn't done it with Keith, the words that were said to me after he died would have destroyed me. And exactly. But had I not heard it from his mouth himself, it had no effect on me, because the family members tried to destroy me after my son died by saying the most horrific things, like, your son didn't love you, he thought you were evil. My son spoke to my face directly because I took the time to listen to the message. Yeah, that's what happened right after my son died. I won't even bring the microphone out for that. But that's what happened. And it was devastating, but I spoke to my son directly. So what I said was, well, that's not what he said to my face a few weeks ago in the kitchen, but all right. I'm not saying we get along 100%, but it was the most horrific thing. He thought you were evil. He thought this. He thought that. He thought this. No, he didn't, because see, my guides, and I listen to them because I never listen to them. They must be over there going, what is she doing, dumbass? Look at this stupid woman. What is she doing? She's going to have to go back down again. But had I listened to it, and had it not happened, I would have actually probably taken my own life at those words. I could not handle it, but I knew what I knew because I spoke to him. And because of what he said to me in our conversation. So I knew what I knew. You know, they didn't have much respect for me in that house. And I don't know why I'm vomiting this up right now, but probably the fire's making me do it. Keith was psychic. Yeah, psychic in a different way than Jason. And it was not Jason who said that to me. But You are mushrooms now. Okay. Oh, all right. But anyway, it was really interesting. So if you get an urge like that, make sure you follow it. Even if it goes against your normal behavior, if you have to talk to somebody, talk to them. Speak to them. It's very important. And it's so, I didn't realize, I'm really glad I said that to him because I apologized as a mother for all my stupid mothering that I did when I was trying to get even with him for being a little brat and stuff like this. Um, Normal well, not quite normal. He was a little bit, he was a little bit smarter than your average bear teenager. But to do that gave me the freedom to not be controlled by the verbal viciousness of another person who, when you've lost a child or lost a loved one or lost a husband, people can do that to you. They can really fuck with you. And I was able to, it was really for me. I don't even think it was for Keith because I think Keith forgave me always. I asked for his forgiveness and he did. But I think he did anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think as a person, he did anyway because I was his mom. But I was able to hear him and he was able to hug me and he was able to say what he needed to say to me, which was so important. He was a Sagittarius, Leo rising, and a little Scorpio moon. He had that little Scorpio moon self. He was a little Scorpio moon, a little bit of Scorpio in there. One time when he was really little, I put my shirts in his closet and he didn't want me to. I hung a bunch of shirts. He was little. He took a little pencil and he put them through the bottom of my shirts. And I was like, what did you just do? He's like, I didn't do that. He was little, like 7. And he's like, I told you not to put them in here. He hated it. But I was very lucky. So yeah, I was super lucky that that happened. I was very lucky. And it was to save me because I would have literally taken my own life. Like I was seconds from it, but it literally killed me when it happened. So yeah, just vicious, just fucking vicious. But I knew different. And then, so it was weird. It would have absolutely destroyed me had I let it, you know? So there. Yeah, no, people are vicious. They're just vicious. I don't allow it around me now. Like, you don't get to say shit what other people think of me. You don't get to say that. So if you're in my family and you're like, she thinks you're garbage or he thinks you're garbage, you don't get to speak for another person, dead or alive, to me. So, you know, unless I go for a reading, unless I go for a reading, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I don't listen to what people say anymore. It's like, you don't speak for another person. I go, they can come and say it to my face and that's fine. You know, whatever. Yeah, November 22nd, August 15th. Oh my God, how fun is that? Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting what people do. Shame on them for doing it, right? Just shame. It's something. Yeah, Keith was a funny little, the degrees. Okay, Keith was a funny little guy. He was smart. He was sweet. He liked to collect crystals. He had tarot cards. He was a good little guy. He loved to work out, punching bag. He loved to ride his motorcycle. He loved to ride a scooter. When he was little, he loved to ski. He loved to snowboard. He'd be skiing with his friends right now. They're all up skiing. So, yeah, that's it. Oh my God, Flo, thank you so much. You're way too generous. Way too generous. Thank you for that. November 22nd changes in the day, so it can be either or depending on where you're living. Thank you for that. Thank you. 1111 is great. Flo is super generous. Super generous. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it tremendously because I don't do the, what is it? When you take this product, it works really well. I don't do that, whatever that is. I don't know that. Pushing a product. Thank you, Flo, for that. Thank you. He'd be skiing right now. His friends are all up skiing right now. So that's what he'd be doing that. Okay, degrees in astrology are, let's look at it this way. You got 12 houses in an astrology chart. Each house, unless you do whole house, equal house system, starts with a degree on the edge. And the planets, which is what is in this ephemeris here, come by degrees. So these are the degrees of their movement. Okay, so they move. So from 0 to 30. That's why when people say I'm on the cusp, I'm like, no, you're 0 degrees or you're 29. I'm a 29, 43 degree Leo rising. I'm going to say something's going to piss y'all off. So is Trump. We have the same rising sign. So it's a polarizing rising sign. But Trump is not a Virgo rising, even though he's going to have Virgo in the first house and have Virgo characteristics. I really see Sag in Trump. His Sag moon comes out with that tongue of his. But even though Virgo's in the first house of somebody with a late degree, late degree Leo rising, whatever that is, still it's going to be like a combination, but that's still your rising sign. Okay. It's still your rising sign. So the degrees go from 0 to 30, and each degree has a different interpretation and it has a different angle to another planet. It's either conflicting, it's either married to, it's either in harmony with, it's either somewhat avoidant of. So they have personalities, and the degrees show their personalities to other planets as they move. So it works like that. That's how it works. Astrology is a lifetime. Covina. Yay, Covina. You know, you're by the fire smoke over there. Astrology is a lifelong study. It's something you study every single day. Then there's asteroids. Then there's specific meanings to the degrees of certain things. There's specific meanings. So you can go through all the meanings of things and the degrees of things and the angles of things. And that's how it works. So it kind of works like that. That's how it actually affects people. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's so weird. 2808 is something special. I don't know. I can't just pop it off the top of my head. You know, I have to look at a chart. And astrology has many components that kind of move together. Like people are like, oh my God. I did get a chart. Yes, wait. Hold on. I did flow. I haven't had a chance to actually sit and I can't read. I knew one like you. Wait, in the 1960s, I knew one like you. I will have to read it. I opened and I have not sat down. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I was busy with the fucking fires. It's terrible. I think you might have sent it around Christmas and I was trying to cook that turkey, but I sound bizarre. I get so sidetracked. So I have it over here. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you guys for the gifts. I will respond to everybody that mailed me something, and that goes for you, Flo. I'm responding within the next week. I literally got so sidetracked by the fires when I sit down to actually sit down, and I'm like, ugh. Yeah, astrology is a dedicated thing that you learn, and there's things I don't know. I'm by no means the best astrologer, but it is something you do need to know your birth time. There is a thing called rectification. I do not do it. Do not ask me to do it. It is way above my pay grade, as in it's a skill that I don't even know, right? But rectification of a chart is working backwards to determine the time. So like if you moved when you were in 3rd grade, or you had a parent that died, or you got a disease, or you got hit by a car, or whatever, major life events, right? Major life events, then you work the chart back to those events and you predict the rising sign from that. That's kind of how it does. But it's such a, people will ask me psychically, and I'm not comfortable with astrology giving you your psychic rising sign. Yeah, pendulum, if you have no time. People do use that, Wolf Mother, and I know you're skilled at it. You're totally. I'm not comfortable doing that psychically. I have to see in a chart the predicting factors, and I'm not even really good at that because I can find 65 ways. Now, what I will tell you is super interesting is when my chart was rectified, because of course I'm adopted, of course. And when Brian did my chart in 86, because of course only an astrologer would have friends that don't have a time of birth, right? So this is what happens. You'll find somebody, even I married John and there were 2 times of birth for him. And I'm like, oh my God, 7:23 or 9:30. And it's on two different paperworks. And then, so I'm adopted. So they don't give your time of birth. I found it in 2001 by giving a reading to a gay guy at the hospital to help him go back and look at the microfiche on my birthday and look my records up to bribe him. Anyway, so yeah, I know that's how old I am, Britt. I'm that fucking old. Anyway, I've been stripping for 5 years at that point. Not the point. But anyhow, when Brian rectified my chart, he put me at 14-degree Gemini rising. So that was good because I'm a chatterbox and I communicate and I'm shallow sometimes. Don't get mad at me, Gemini risings, all of that. I could see it. Pluto and Uranus in the 4th house, adoption, right? All of this was like on par. So when I got my time of birth from the hospital, 8 pages, it said, it put me to a 29-degree Leo rising, 43 seconds, with Virgo in the 1st house, Pluto and Uranus in the 1st house. That makes sense to me, okay? Because I'm like, yeah, people either love or hate me. There's no in between, and I can't handle being restrained. And Uranus makes sense. And then my profession, stripping, sex industry, Uranus, Pluto, you know, going towards the 2nd house, all of that made sense. But here's the weird ass thing. So John's looking through the paperwork. 8 pieces of paper were faxed to us, and it kept saying 105, 105, 105. And he pulls out the 8th paper and he goes, I'm sorry, 705 it said. 705, 705, 705. So here's the trick. When you're born between 6 and 8 in the morning, you're double your sign, most likely. So if you're Leo rising at that time. If you're Aries rising at that time. But anyway, thank you for that. And Flo, thank you again so much. Thank you. I just don't even know what to say for supporting the channel and myself. So John finds this paper and it says 105. So I run the chart for 105 and I'll be damned if it isn't 14-degree Gemini rising, exactly like Brian had said all those years ago. But it was only one of the papers and now the records aren't there. So 7 of the papers say 705 and that one paper says 105, which could be a typo and might not have gone through. Yeah, so there you go. I know, but it was just so interesting to me that that number came up. You really need a really good, talented astrologer to do a rectification because it's so next level intelligent that it's just, and most astrologers, no, don't do it like that. Don't do it. No, I am shallow. Trust me. When I tell you that, I can be very shallow. I'm stubborn, so I'll stick with you just to prove how much you hate me until I get the message, and then I'll leave, right? But other than that, I'm like an adopted puppy dog. I'm like, be my friend, be my friend. That's the problem with adoption. That's the problem with adoption. We feel we need to be attached to people because we weren't attached to the birth home, you see? I believe it has a lot to do with it. So we're like golden retrievers. We're like, do you love me? Do you love me? Pick me. I'm a stripper. That's who we are. Or whatever. I figured it out. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's just, so that's what I believe. That's what I've come to. A lot of my downfall and non-accomplishment in this life comes from being adopted. I mean, I accomplished to some people, but not the way that I set out to be. I guess I'm the way I'm supposed to be, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I stay way too long in circumstances where people don't like you. Like, get a clue. You know what I mean? Get a fucking clue. Except on the internet, there's going to be a lot of haters. They can fuck off. But it's interesting. Adopted kids, I think, have that. I think that's a huge thing that no one talks about. Yeah, astrology chart takes a long time. It's something your brain, you know what I equate it to? It's like when you're doing the silks and they ask you to do a straddle and do a straddle climb. If you guys know silks out there and they tell you to do a straddle climb and you're like, how the fuck does this work? How do I grab a piece of silk with my kneecap and climb while I'm straddled upside down, hook it in, and then propel myself up and do it again? How do I do that? Like, it doesn't make sense to your body till it does make sense. And astrology is the same way. astrology is very much the same way. Keep learning it. Keep learning it. It's not going to happen overnight. It is a advanced skill that one must do. Like I lived and breathed it. It just 4 years. We dance on our haters. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're adopted. You're attached to houses and places because you think it validates who you are. I realize now adopted kids are meant to be feral because you can't adopt a child. It's really nice if you do and you're a good person. I'll just word it that way. And you actually are nice to your adopted kids. Good for you. Not my experience. But it is, you have a different kind of mission when you're adopted. And one of them, oh my God, at 5 years old, aw, one of them is to find your own power and strength without relying on any ancestry. Everybody else on planet Earth knows why I would foster, I love babies, I would do that. Everybody on planet Earth knows why they look the way they do, except for an adopted kid, except for that adopted kid who looks in the mirror and goes completely blank. And then people hide their existence from them. It's a good thing your mother did. She gave you up. How is that a good thing? Why don't we teach those people, except for the few that are crazy, but why don't we teach them how to be better parents so they can stay with their families, right? I don't know. I will be a puppy dog. I know. I'm like, love me, look at me, please like me. I was like that. You could punch me, you could date me and hit me in the face and I would still make you breakfast in the morning. That's how fucking crazy I was, okay? That's how crazy I was as a teenager. That actually happened to me on more than one occasion. And I thought it was my fault because they're always, I mean, you've got to learn. When someone hits you in the face or calls you a whore, they don't really like you. They fucking hate you. But yeah, no, very abusive first circumstances. Stray cats. Yes, like a stray cat. Exactly. Stray cat. You moved, wait, what? I was a foster kid, was moved over 30 times. Yeah. Yeah, because you remained in the system and it's hard for you guys too. Because then you're like, no one adopted me. So now you really are on your own. But you have a lot of strength. There's the strength that I find as an adopted person. I should say non-abusive foster parents. Exactly. What I find as an adopted person now is I don't need anybody for anything. Like I've been pushed out of everything and pushed away from everybody and then blamed for it because they're crazy, which is what they do to adopted kids. Because it's really easy. And this goes for a lot of my friends who are adopted. I went to school with so many adopted kids. Yeah, siblings of adopted kids, don't let the parents triangulate you into hating the adopted child. Absolutely. Sometimes they scapegoat the adopted one and the golden child is the birth child. And sometimes it's the other way around. But we adopted kids, if you're a sibling, what a nice question. If you're a sibling to an adopted kid, love them. Love them, just like they're your sibling, because they are your sibling, even though they're not blood, but they are your sibling. So love them like that and they'll recognize it. They will thank you for the kindness because so many people point out that they're adopted and you don't look like this. And why do you look the way you do? Makes me nuts. You don't look like anybody. Yes, we know we don't look like anybody. Who are your parents? They threw you in the garbage. These little fuckers at school would say shit like that. My ex punched me in the face. Oh, see? Oh no. See? Yeah. Yeah, if you have a good foster child, brother, then that's wonderful. And you're a kind person. It's usually the parents that when the kid acts normal, they're like, you're not my kid. You don't look like me. You have problems. You know, of course they have problems. Their parents gave them away. Why wouldn't you have problems on a subconscious level, on an etheric level, on a spiritual level? People take better care of their shoes than they do their kids. The ones that get adopted, they throw them into foster care. The fuck is that? There are some really good foster families out there. And I took care of people's kids. Like some of the drug dealer kids, when they were getting busted, I took those kids into my house. Like I always had other people's kids come into my house. I wouldn't leave a kid, the kids were important to me. Yeah, other people's kids, exactly. I'm fucked. I'm all fucked up. Pardon. You can swear on this channel. I tried to show my brother, and he's not interested. You know what? My parents treat him well. He's not interested in a relationship with you. That's okay. Not for you, but for him, because he's been manipulated, like I said, by the parents. If he's a golden child, he's being manipulated. He's been manipulated. They will pit once to get, yeah, there's a lot of adopted people. That's because there's a concerted effort in our society to tell, it's definitely abandonment, of course. There's a concerted effort to tell you why you're not good enough to raise your children. That's why I got to respect my little daughter-in-law. She kept her Lila. She kept Lila. She was a teenager and she kept her. And Lila is the best thing, meaning she didn't give her up. She didn't do anything else. She kept her Lila. And Lila is the greatest gift to our family. So absolutely the best thing ever. Some kid, yeah, I know. So it's adopted people. There's so many things with adopted people that they don't even discuss. We're just supposed to be ushered in. Here, go over there, be their kid. Cats don't like that. Dogs don't like that. You know what I'm saying? People want readings for all kinds of things. Usually love, sometimes career, a lot of career and love, family situations, dead kids, living kids, whatever's coming up. Some people want to know if they're dying. Don't ask me that anymore. That kind of thing. Oh yeah, don't let anyone take your baby for postpartum. You should be given help, not your baby taken away. That's a jealousy thing. That's someone trying to fuck you and she's not your friend. So get a doctor to help you, exercise, eat properly, and get support from a therapist that can help you with postpartum. And make sure you do everything like that so you have a backup if this bitch tries to take you to court and take your baby. It's disgusting when people do that. Yes, we are all dying, Nick. We are. Wait, hold on. Stop thinking the only reason kids are adopted is parents are bad. Here's what I'm going to say. I had a kid. The second I had my kid, I did not like my birth mother. Who gives a child up? I'm going to say that from my experience. I didn't say anything about bad. Lack of responsibility. You cannot give your kid to a system or sell your kid and not call that trafficking. So I am going to correct you there. I believe, I'm not saying you're bad, evil, going to go to hell, but on what planet do you think as a mother that you have the right to shirk your responsibility because you're told by society, unless you're completely drug-addled, and then, okay, but that's not the case. The case is Catholic. The case is the guy was married. The case is I already had a child. That is not a good behavior. That is not a good behavior. Your responsibility is to your offspring. You can't give your child, your baby, to Catholic charities, the foster system, an orphanage, whatever, and think they're going to take care of your kid. That's absurd. You're insane if you think that. You're insane. Your birth mother can be from a wealthy family. Absolutely. It's still not the right thing to do. Who's talking the kid into giving you up? The damage that does if your mother doesn't want to and is a teenager is outrageous. It's outrageous. I think it's outrageous. Why is the family not helping her? So she got pregnant. And Beth is fantastic. Beth is super smart. The system traffics. I was in an orphanage. No one adopted me until I was 1. And, well, just about 1. Over 10 months. And so no, you shouldn't be forced to do anything. You're pregnant. That's not a crime. That's what we're here to do if we want to do it. Yeah, no, I know the people on drugs. I understand if you're fucked up on drugs, you can't think straight. And that's one thing. But you do know. I hope you know, because my friend's husband was a lawyer. He's since passed. But he did the first case of an adoption being given back to the Catholic charities on the East Coast. I can't remember which state. These Catholic charities, Catholic adoption organization, took the children from the state mental hospital that got pregnant. So, like, your schizophrenic son is in a hospital. And what does rape have to do with raising a child? You're confusing it. Rape is a crime, but the baby and you, what does that have to do with you taking your responsibility for your child? In that case, if you can't raise your child because you can't look at your child because you're traumatized, then that's going to be an individual case. But that's not a lot of cases out there. A lot of cases out there are just people that got pregnant when it was inconvenient, etc. And it's still your karma. There's a karma to it for sure. And it's not a judgment. I just don't know why you think giving your baby to strangers is really going to do better than you. I don't, or your aunt or your uncle or somebody in your family. I really don't. Do you not know? I was talking about before this. I was just saying my friend was a lawyer for the guy that raped and murdered a girl in Vegas. And he was also the first lawyer for a kid that was sent back into Catholic Charities on the East Coast because they took these kids from the psych ward who got pregnant. Somehow they let these kids get pregnant and they handed the babies over and made up backstories. There were 13 kids, backstories. Like the mom was this and the dad was this, whatever. Not that the mom and dad were in the psych ward, and they gave those babies away. And the parents had horrible experiences. Oh my God. I mean, and he was a lawyer on that. I mean, seriously. And one of those kids was the one that raped and murdered as a teenager a little girl in a bathroom in Vegas. And I can't remember the case name. Yeah, people don't get it. They want me to be grateful because someone took me in. I'm supposed to be ever grateful. I'm supposed to bend down at your feet because you bothered to take me in. That's not equitable. It's not fair. I realize that there are good adopted people, but if you have a teenage pregnant person in your family, why do you want them to give their kid up? That's your grandkid. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you supporting? Why are you looking at sex as shame? Why are you looking at that? Why do you see it that way? Why don't you see it? Aw, thank you, Flo. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're so generous today. Thank you. It's all going to Keith in the court. That's what it's going to. But I'm curious. Like as a mother, I really am thinking teenage pregnancy. I don't want to deal with it. But I'm not thinking I need to get rid of my grandchild. I'm not thinking I need to do that. That's not what I'm thinking to save face. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking this is a grandchild. We're keeping the grandchild. If my son or daughter is an idiot, they can leave. But we're going to raise our lineage and our history because it is our responsibility. Period. I don't know. I don't know about this country. And they put them into organizations. Look at Georgia Tan in the South, taking those babies from people. Look at those people. Terrible. This is just my opinion, and you can argue with me, but I'm an adopted person. And if you had a good experience, good for you. You were lucky. You were lucky. My parents tried. They didn't have the patience for me, whatever that means. You know, Georgia, I forgot what you said. Thank you so much, you guys, for the super chat. And Flo, thank you. I don't even know what to say. Oh my God. Mexican families. Yes, Mexican families do. They would never let their offspring go out into the world like that. No, they do. And that's very important. That's such an important thing. You can't give a baby to foster care and think that those people are going to make sure that the baby is taken care of. You're judging on money and you're judging on the appearance of whatever. I know, Bobby, so cool. That's just how I think of it. Yeah, they have values. The babies are innocent, whether you're raped or not. You can do what you want. You can abort. You can keep the baby. You can have twins. You can do, if you get pregnant with twins, I'm not saying that. I support your right, even if you give the baby up. But as an adopted person, I'm really telling you, it fucks your head up. You weren't wanted by your parents. Like, I don't care that society makes up a lie and says, you're better off. Really, am I? Okay, thanks for that. You may be. You may have learned something different. You may be, but you also may not be, right? There you go, raising your siblings. Absolutely. Right? Yeah, no, absolutely. I am suspicious of every celebrity out there. So when they have ambassadors to Hollywood, I think they're mentally ill to say that. It's a joke. There's fires and people have lost their homes. We don't need to say the word Hollywood. We need to see people that are victims of the fire. And we need to help the people that are victims of the fire without shoving entertainment down our throat with these people as if we should respect them. I don't need to respect them because the word Hollywood is attached. Okay, I'm checking the time, you all. It is time for me to go because I have a date with Baby Meadow. So Baby Meadow and I are going for din din tonight. We're going out for dinner. Thank you all for the super chats. And Flo, thank you so much. We are going to dinner, me and the baby. I think Lila might have a school event. Or maybe she's going somewhere. I don't know. But me and Meadow are together tonight. That's it. It's time. It's time. Thank you all so much. I came on early because of that. Maybe you all could write in the list below who you want me to do the next video of. I'm out of ideas. Like, I can't attach to anybody. So if you put names down there, I'll get a feeling for somebody. And that's the video we'll do. I can't even say who it is because Wendy Williams is a good one. Write them in. Will you write them there if you've got an idea? Chris Farley, that's good. Paul Walker. I have to really feel it. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm going to have to feel it. Mwah. Thank you guys. I'm going out into Smokeville out there. Okay, bye you guys. Thank you so much.